Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm. I don't know what that was, but today's video is going to be all about Malthael. Malthael got a tiny talent change, and I wanted to see if it played into another build for him, so we'll see how it goes. Since this is a YouTube channel, I know, you know, but like, comment, subscribe, bell, I think that's it. I think that's all the things that you could do. Well, unless you want to save this video to like a playlist or something. That seems like asking a bit much. But Malthael, the Angel of Death, is going to be a bruiser, quote-unquote, because he is very good at staying alive and doing bruisery things. Oh, right. Deathwing doesn't get a medallion, so his just goes on infinite cooldown, looks like. But Malthael, it's kind of hard to describe. He started out as a melee assassin, and then got a designation change, not recently, but at some point in his life. But he's always been the percent damage, slow grip of death character. I know, it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around, but the fantasy is that since he's the Angel of Death, he's like this looming, ever-present damage that will finally one day catch up with you like death will, and you can kill pufferfish in 2 autos and a Q. Perfect. I'm not super enthused about the Murky matchup, but we're just basically freezing lanes. We're trying to get better at whatever this off-lane thing is. Gonna go pick up some globes in the backside. But our abilities, we're going to start off with that. Our Q is called Soul Rip. Extract the souls of nearby enemies afflicted by a Reaper's Mark, which is our trait, which is probably where we should start, to be honest. Reaper's Mark, basic attacks, cleave in an area. Let's get rid of that. There it goes. Cleave in an area in front of Malthael and afflict non-structure targets with Reaper's Mark for 4 seconds. Marked enemies are revealed and take damage equal to 1.75% of their maximum health every 1 second. So, over a 4-second duration, that person is going to receive 7% of their maximum health gone. Obviously, you know, it's percentage damage. You can't do anything to stop it from happening. But since it's such a small amount over a lengthy, window of time, it's difficult for the enemy team to notice just exactly what's happening to them. So, I hate it, but I also love it, but I also hate it. So there's that. But that'll kind of lead into the next, the rest of Malthael's kit. So, obviously, with our auto attacks cleaving and our trait dealing percentage damage, most of our kit is predicated on the fact that we have our trait applied to someone. So, our Q, called Soul Rip, is going to deal damage 122, and it's going to heal Malthael for 30 per target hit. So, that means heroes, that means minions, mercenaries, blah, blah, blah. Anything hit by our Reaper's Mark and then subsequently hit by our Q is going to heal us. Heroic targets heal Malthael for an additional 4% of the hero's maximum health. So whoever we're sucking on is going to give us 4% of their maximum health, which seems really good. Unless you have a character like Murky who has really tiny amounts of health, in which case it's not as good, because fuck, man, I can't get anything out of that little fish fucker. So, there you have it. 25 mana cost. You can basically hold this button down, which is what I like to do, because I don't want to click my Q over and over and over again. I like to turn it on autopilot, put my pinky on the Q button, and run down somebody. My team seems to want to fight, but I am getting some XP that is really needed in pushing us towards the level 7. So I'm a little bit concerned about the Merc camp as well. Not sure if my team really understands that this kills buildings. That was a really strange ult from Deathwing. Kind of weird, but we got the make kill, so everything's working out better than expected as I lose most of my health to the Samurai. Spooky. But back to the abilities. So Q is our main form of healing. It's also our main form of damage, which is Takes a lot of mana. You got to be paying attention to that on top of everything else. Our W is called Wraith Strike. Instantly teleport through an enemy. So you're going to pop up behind him like an Angel of Death, who is also a ninja. And you're going to do some damage to him. Now dealing 78 damage and is going to refresh our Reaper's Mark. When that happens, it is going to set the... Sorry, you're getting a phone call in the middle of everything that I'm doing. Oh god, are we actually going to get this? I don't have any mana. I can't keep pushing my Q button. You can see the problem that I have with that, but it looks like Orphea and Varian don't need any help whatsoever. So, here we are. Back to Reaper's... Wraith Strike. Sorry, Wraith Strike. That is going to refresh the duration of our trait, which is normally 4 seconds. So, realistically, you're probably going to get a 6 to potentially 8 seconds duration when you W someone. So when you Wraith Strike onto them after your trait is applied, because that's the only way you can jump to them anyway, if you're waiting a decent amount of time to jump onto them, you could potentially change it from 7% health to 14% health over 8 seconds, obviously. So, could be worse, could be better. It's a really long amount of time, which is kind of... Yeah. But it does kind of build up. Especially with the build that we're going to be taking in this video, which is not the meta build for this character, and I don't know that this build has a whole lot of places to be played, but all that in mind, our E is called Death Shroud. This is the only ability that Malthael has, apart from his ults, that doesn't require a Reaper's Mark to use. Now, after 0.25 seconds, there is a delay. Not in love with the delay. Unleash a wave of dark mist that applies Reaper's Mark to enemies it hits. It is a very, very, very slow-moving missile. Just going to be honest with you right now. You have to lead a target really hard, or you have to hope that they just walk into it on their own, which isn't always the hardest thing to do when you're outside of vision, but, you know, at the same time, is that a turret? Is that a Junkrat? Did he just put the... Something's fishy about this, and that would be it. That would be the entire reason I should not have done that. Because he baited the fuck out of me with his stupid death trait, and I'm the Angel of Death. I hate it. That's dumb. But I guess good job to him. My feelings are hurt a little bit. But anyway, so at level 10, I picked up Tormented Souls. I don't think this is a good ability. In comparison, is the main asterisk here. Last Rites is the #1 perfect ability for killing low health heroes, turning a team fight on its head, stopping a lot of crazy stuff from happening. And it's basically the #1 percentage health killer in the entire game. It's Last Rites and it's Cursed Bullet. Those two of those together are going to be used so efficiently to kill people who have very high health bars. So, it's very, very good. Plus, the questing aspect and the cooldown reduction of Last Rites just makes it just better. But anyway, what we've decided to take instead is the Tormented Souls. And what this is going to do is put a big old puddle of death mist around Malthael, and that's going to just repeatedly apply our Reaper's Mark, which, as you can tell, dealing 7% max health damage over 4 seconds ain't too shabby, especially when you can just walk at people. Now, the other stipulation of this ability is that, #1, when Malthael came out, this used to give you armor. It no longer does that, because they nerfed it so much that it was just stupid to continue giving it armor. Because when you initially had it, you could get so many different forms of armor and healing out of this ultimate that you were unkillable. You were basically tank Malthael, diving into the enemy team, doing whatever you wanted, and you would never die. Now, since that change, and everybody realizing how good Last Rites is, the Oh no, stop. I don't want to walk into fire, please. Everybody noticing that, you know, Tormented Souls is kind of shit now. One of the last passes that they did on this ability was to make it do a couple more things. So basically what happens is when you activate it, it's going to reset the cooldown of your W, and then once the ability ends, which is... Let's see... for fuck's sake, the stupid talent bug. This is going to be 4 seconds later. You're going to reset the cooldown of your W again. So, basically what you're going to do is apply your mark on preferably a hero, but it can be someone around a hero too, because that's going to work with our build. But if you hit a hero, you're going to W towards them, and then you are going to activate your ult, which is going to obviously put out damage. You're going to do damage. And then you've got your W reset again. So if you need to reposition, or if you want to put some more damage on a target with your W, boom, get on it. All the time your passive is going off, which is, you know, percentage damage over and over and over again. Oh, you are so dead. Everything about that was painful to watch. And then once the ability is over, so 4 seconds later, you're just going to W onto whatever target one more time. Now this build does make Malthael a lot tankier than he normally would be when you have it active, because you just get a lot of healing with your Q, because you're just passively applying your shit all over everybody. Minions, mercenaries, heroes, whatever is there that's not a building is going to get marked. Just give Brightwing a real out, quick teleport. You're welcome. I know what you need. But all that being said, Tormented Souls, you have to build into it, but it can be a semi-effective ultimate, and it can make Malthael a bit of a late-game come-from-behind damage dealer. It all depends on the rest of the build, though, so we'll talk about that. Our level 1 is going to be Death's Reach, and that's going to increase our W range by 35%. Really important that you get this talent when it comes to building this way, because it lets you engage on squishy targets or people who are trying to be a lot more careful from much better angles. Oh god, Varian's being chased bound by 4 people. His health buff. Oh my! We're just going to apply our trait to everyone, jump in after them, and now we're going to blink further in. Ooh, it feels so good. So good. Big, big, big turns there. Just fantastic. Way to go, team. Way to save the Varian and the Deathwing. Deathwing didn't die to Murky either. And my Brightwing is here to back me up under the tower, so I don't have to be such an embarrassing shit like that time that I went in after that Junkrat, you know, a little while ago.
Killing spree.
But our level 4 talent is a newly adjusted talent. Throwing Shade now on top of everything that it used to do, which is increasing... God damn, the talent bug. I hate this so much. I wish they would fix it. Increased Death Shroud's range by 33%, reduces cooldown by 3 seconds, and its mana cost to 30. So, the range on this ability gets obnoxiously long, and you're going to drop the cooldown from 8 seconds to 6 seconds, I believe it is. It's only 33%, right? It's like 5 and some change. Pretty sure. Pretty sure? I think it's at least 5. I pushed the V button instead of the B button because I am bad and I use 100,000 different keyboards. My team really wants that, don't they? I mean, we have 16. I guess I should go help them, but I have to get this fat wave first. So we're an offlaner, and that's what we do here. But anyway, the thing that they changed about this ability, this talent, is that the Death Shroud's initial impact is going to deal 2% max health to whoever it hits. So, Death Shroud normally doesn't do any damage at all. But with this talent, we're increasing the range, reducing the cooldown, and now we're actually doing damage with it. So, somebody gets hit by Death Shroud, that means they're going to take 2% off the top, and then that 4% is going to... or that 4 seconds later, they're going to take that 7%. So you're just taking 9% of somebody's health bar off of them for basically with poke. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's all damage over time. Obviously, the XP globes can't get through the gate. Why? Why is it like that? Please, tell me. Blizzard, what is doing things. Those are my globes. I only got one of them. I'm so upset about that. But the 2% isn't bad. I mean, having 9% off someone's health bar for an ability that's always up, that's relatively low cost on the mana that you can just kind of spam all the time, seems good. Feels bad, especially early in the game, because this build is super, like, you gotta get to at least 13 before you start feeling good, and then you're gonna need 16 to feel real good, and then 20 feels like shit because it's just like, whatever. But our level 7 is Massacre. That is going to make our W hit in an area and is going to apply the Reaper's Mark around targets in that area. He thinks I'm alone. My team was looking at me the whole time, and bless them for being such angels for the Angel of Death. But Massacre, right. It is going to apply your mark to multiple people, and this is going to couple really well at our 16, but we'll talk about that in a second. 13, you have to have Soul Rip. So increase Soul Rip's bonus healing from heroes to 4.75% of the hero's maximum health. I never looked at the numbers before, but that seems like real shit. Why does it feel so much better? It doesn't even go up another full percentage. It's just 4 3/4, and it's already 4. I may have to test that out, because that seems... I don't know about that. Huh. Anyway, huge fight breaking out. Deathwing jumping into the background. Junkrat is out with his ultimate, but doing a shitload of damage to Deathwing as he just stands in all those bombs and the fire, and everything is spooky. And Kael'thas is going to die off the screen. I don't have a whole lot of health, so I'd like to leave. And that's what we're going to do. Deathwing agreeing on that position. Worked, I guess. While I was lost in talent thought, we're just taking fights left and right here. 3-level lead on the enemy team, which is nice, but at the same time, I'm not getting everything that I want out of this character, so I don't know how to feel about this game, honestly. At level 16, the number one main talent you have to have when you're playing this ultimate and this build, it's called Mortality. When damaging a hero, a Wraith Strike deals bonus damage equal to 8% of the maximum health of the hero, which is insane because all of that happens at once. And given that we can use our... Oh, you're dead, you poor baby. That just keeps happening to you. Given that we can use our Wraith Strike 3 times on a single person with this ultimate, it's pretty evident the damage is just going to go directly into the stratosphere. On top of that, this now applies in an area. I just cannot be stopped. And my ult turned off, so we got the jump on her. Can I get out? I should jump to that minion, but I got hit by a tornado. My team really doesn't want me to die. I can appreciate them so much for this. Dodging the flame strike, but Deathwing is a little bit too far under the core. I don't think he's going to make it. Nope, taking the flame strike out. I hate Junkrat's ult. I walked up into it. I should have kept walking down. I thought I was going to get hit by another tornado and killed myself because of it. Oh! I absolutely fucking hate death traits. Absolutely fucking hate them. Tyros is awful. Junkrat's is awful. Does anybody else have one? I don't think so. Not that I can think of off the top of my head anyway. Just... Ugh. Once you're dead, you're dead. Just like, fuck off. Let me have fun. Anyway, that moment's over. So, back to the build. Having 6... No, what is that? 8 times 3 is, what is that, 16? That's 24% of a hero's health. If you land all 3 of your Wraith Strikes on a single person, like you're supposed to, and then all of the duration of the Reaper's Mark that you've done the entire time there is going to be at least 4 seconds, because that's the end of your ultimate. It is going to be... God, that's a ridiculous amount of time. I think the entirety of the combo probably will last you at least 8 seconds. Because you got to do the full duration of your ultimate. You got to apply your passive from the outset. And then you have to find a good opportunity to go in with your Wraith Strike number 1. 8 to 10 seconds worth of... yeah. So, not only are you doing 24% with just your W's to one target, it's about 10 seconds worth of your trait on top of that, which is going to... what is that? 14% plus 3.5. It's about 17.5. Trying to do math in the middle of a team fight is such the wrong way to handle this, so let's talk about it. We're going in with our ultimate up. Again, Mei is just going to get shredded. Even though she has that level 20 cheat death talent, it's not going to matter much because of all the damage that we could just constantly dump on top of her. It is slow damage, so that means that we're not going to be able to save Deathwing in time, but here we are. My level 20 talent, I did pick up Final Curtain, not because I particularly love the talent, but it does couple really well with our 4 talent. So having a persistent amount of Reaper's Mark just laying on the ground is good, right? It cuts chokes off, it makes the enemy think twice about where they're stepping. It's fine-ish, but it's still not as good as No One Can Stop Death. Having a cheat death at level 20. Holy fuck, this Brightwing is insane. And I've lived. I had no idea I was going to make it through there. That is fucking nuts. We shouldn't be fighting them anymore. We should be going to run at the core. It's only at 11%. I'm just trying to get my way down to the bottom here to do that. But I have a very low-ish health bar, so that's not going to be the greatest thing in the universe. Yeah, but all the 20 talents that aren't No One Can Stop Death suck, so you should just take this one. I promise you it's the best. It's not just an egg hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Deathwing also wanting to drop down and get some assistance. I wanted to get Junkrat, and then I forgot he can just get out of everything that I do. And he has a kind of tiny health bar, so I can't kill him right away, which is why he killed me there. And the rest of my team is just going to come in the back and take it, which is just fine with me. We created enough of distraction on the bottom side that the top side teammates could seal the deal. So, whatever, I'll take the death. We got the win. MVP Brightwing all day long. None of the other votes on this screen matter because that player did absolutely fucking phenomenal. Just so good. Truly. Kudos to that guy. But here's the build again in case you need it. We have got Death's Reach at 1, Throwing Shade at 4, Massacre at 7, Tormented Souls at 10, Soul Siphon at 13. Mortality is going to be our 16 talent absolute requirement if you're playing this build. And then we picked up Final Curtain at 20 because I just wanted to test it. All that being said, again, I think maximum percentage damage that you are going to do to a character over the span of about 10 seconds is roughly 40% of their maximum health. You can see it in the stat screen here. We did about 80,000 damage in heroes while still managing to be the main soak for our team. So if this doesn't tell you something about the way the Malthael does damage and the amount that he can do, check some numbers. I'm telling you, it's fucking insane. Oh, we also did the most siege damage on our team too, and got the most merc camps. No, I still wouldn't call me the MVP over that Brightwing. But that is going to be it for Malthael today. We're rambling again. I'll let you go. I hope you have yourself a wonderful evening.